What's up, Bucs fans? Happy Wednesday. It's Victory Wednesday as usual. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Bucs Report, the aftermath on 102.9, the game, Broad Street South Radio. Stay tuned today. We are going to dissect the keys of victory and who was the MVP. Then we just got to talk about everything, the odds that were against us, and we'll talk a little bit about Denver. But for right now, tune in for that fly-ass intro. Get your beer, get the cannons, get whatever, get you a Cuban sandwich if you in Tampa, and let's get ready for the aftermath. Let's go. The intro will What's up again? Happy Wednesday, folks. It's Victory Wednesday. You should be happy with yourselves. Again, welcome to another episode of Bucs Report, the aftermath on 102.9, the game, Broad Street South Radio. AJ Turn up in the house, and we got Coach Slick, aka the British guys always fly. How you doing, and how are you feeling today, Slick?
I'm feeling good, baby. I'm another win. Another fucking win.
Another win.
We said they could go 4-0 all the way to Atlanta, and there is no reason why we can't.
We did.
What a game.
Buck fans, these Bucs right here, your diehard Buck fans, one who have experience, not just as Buck fans, but experience of the game. Again, you just saw Coach Slick in a championship a few weeks ago, so we're going to always put respect on him. You got you a conditioning coach right here, offensive-minded guy who knows a little something. Despite the odds, we told Buck fans, do not worry about Detroit. We are very aware of who they are. The problem is the media and the world are not aware of your beloved Bucs. We said, yes, it's going to be hard that Getty is out. We said, yes, Detroit is immensely talented. We said this, but we also said the Bucs have a few tricks up our sleeves. That's all we were trying to say. And a lot of things that we said came to fruition. I was right about certain things and I was wrong about certain things. So I can straight up admit as a man, when it came to Hutchinson, I was wrong. I thought he'd be effective. I didn't think he would be that effective. He was overwhelmingly effective, but he wasn't effective enough to where it mattered. All those sacks don't mean shit for him in his mind. He knows we walked out with a fucking L, and this team did this. And mind you, your Bucs did this with backups. When Vita Vea went out, I'm sure Buc fans thought all was lost, but we prevailed. This team is for real. People are saying, are we talking Super Bowl? No. Only reason I said that is because I was being facetious and I was going by media logic. Since they were always slurping and jerking the Lions, I'm like, okay, we beat that team. So we should be on that level now, Slick, according to their logic. Now, we know realistically it's only week fucking 2. It's only week 2, guys. It's only fucking week 2. That's it. So, Slick, I'm going to hand it off to you. Tell me, when did you feel like the Bucs had this game in the wrap? Or no, before that, the first half, what went through your mind watching the first half of this game?
Buccaneers were incredibly dominant defensively. Zion McCullum's really taken the step up, which was great to see. Dean started a bit slow and then really turned it up. The cornerback play in general, because they don't have slouches on their team at wide receiver. Amaro St. Brown went off, and we know players can go off. Mm-hmm. We know the players can go off because we've seen it with Mike Evans and still lost games.
Yes.
We've gone back. There's years of stacked of Mike Evans yardage and touchdowns. So we know this guy was going to get hits. We always knew that. Mm-hmm. But Sam Laporta, not really a non-factor. They can't seem to work out which running back they like because both of them are pretty good, but they can't. They don't. The Buccaneers feel like they've got this nice balance with their running backs, whereas Detroit seemed a little bit disjointed.
Mm.
It was almost like when they put it's almost like they put them in for failure. Not every time, because they got theirs too, but it just felt like there were certain downs they would change up the backs, and the change up didn't make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel you. I want to say this.
Go on.
I want to say this because we're going to be on the defensive side for a second. We'll get to the offense later, but you're right. Defensively, I was so damn impressed. The MVP realistically is Todd Bowles. He had those men prepared. Izzian played safety. Do you know how hard it is? Can you imagine being Izzian trying to fill in the shoe slick of fucking Antoine Winfield? Antoine Winfield. Somebody says, "Hey man, the best safety in the league is out. We need you to go in there." And you usually play nickel. Cool. He said, "I'm up to the challenge," because Bowles prepared him. I was very impressed. Also, Zion McCullum. Carlton Davis, who? Carlton Davis, who? So I owe
take the money as well.
I owe Bowles an apology.
What a leap that guy's taken. And JTS, last 2 games.
Oh my God. Wow. I guess when contracts are coming up, they start to go, well, I better get paid, because he was flat out sensational. But you know who was the silent killer, but we shouldn't have been surprised? I told Bucs, don't be surprised. Levante fucking David. I told people, do you know couldn't go off? Because Levante David was on his ass. Levante was everywhere. If you
Savassier Dennis as well, like he was making plays left, right, and center. It's great to see some of these young backers that we've got. Like, I wouldn't say do it now, but like if Levante David decided that he's had enough and he walked down the road, he hung up the cleats, he hung up the pads, I would turn around to the Buccaneers and say, you might not need to go and get somebody too big straight away. Because I think with Savassier Dennis and KJ Britt, you could do a job there. Now, I do think you still need somebody else, maybe a rotational guy, maybe a cornerstone pick. Maybe you're going to use that 3rd round pick or a 2nd round pick on a guy. But those two don't look bad at all, like realistically, especially Savassier Dennis. But you can see that they really do like this whole obvious passing downs.
Yes.
They stick with Savassier. They passed to Savassier, so to speak.
Yes, they did. And Savassier did not fail. A lot of them didn't fail. And another one who we're not surprised is Jordan Whitehead. Man, it's a blessing to have him back. That man was everywhere, not just in passing, but the run. But when it came to the pass, if you really look at it, Goff, I honestly think he was so unrattled, because the dude said this before, and I think he is 100% right. I honestly do think after rewatching it, they were expecting Bowles to blitz all the time. Bowles did the good old-fashioned, he played chess, as Slick always says. He said, no, I'm going to let them throw and make them feel like that they're succeeding, but I'm going to clink that shit down in the red zone. And as you said, here's the funny thing. We played chess against Amon St. Brown, and we won. And I told people, Slick, you can attest to this because you play people. You're a defensive-minded person. Oh, we'll let you get the little yards in front, but we're going to beat you the fuck up. And
demoralizing for a defense to walk away with 3 points. I mean, 3 points, you'll take them, but it's still demoralizing, because especially if you've been knocking on the door a couple of times, if you've had a kick that got missed or a kick that's gone through, when your kicker's not hitting as well, that's really nerve-wracking, because you're like, I don't even know if this guy's going to make the kick. So then you start panicking, and like, do we need to go for it on 4th down? And I'll tell you what, he's a gutsy that stone cold looking motherfucker is a very gutsy play caller. And there were a couple of times I said to myself, one of these fucking play calls will bite him in the ass, and he's got and it will happen, because you can stay aggressive, but at some point your team has to pick up the pieces of your rash, aggressive decision. And I get it. He trusts his players. I'm in the same mindset. I'm a guy who will go on 4th down if it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and I feel like we've got a play in there that can go get it, especially in their half, because at the end of the day, I just feel like I'm punting. I really don't care. I don't want to settle for field goals if I don't trust my kicker. And that's more of an English football mindset, because the kickers at our level are nowhere near NFL, remotely NFL level, because we just don't practice it as much. We've got a very good one at the Steelers, Adam Smith, our wide receiver, in in our football, you don't have an assigned kicker. It's a member of the team that plays a position. So our kicker is our star wide receiver. He's also the punter as well. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's the way it is. But let's and again, we have to give a shout out also again to the damn front line. Vita Vea goes out, and what does Bowles do? He says, "Don't fret." This is why this offseason and during preseason was so damn important of evaluating the trenches, because everybody who was in the trenches, your boy Green, he did his thing. He played his part. Believe it or not, I told people this, and they said, "You know what? You got a point, Slick. Go back and watch Detroit's left tackle, Snell, whatever his name is. Yeah, he did not have a good game. He was not as dominant." Normally, JTS was
he came from injury though, right?
He was on an ankle, and I told people that is going to work in the Bucs' benefit. I don't think people understand when linemen have ankles. Yeah, especially at an ankle injury and
speed. Remember what's JTS's thing? Speed. What do you need to anchor yourself with if you're an offensive lineman? Your ankles. Anchor with the ankles.
Yes, and JTS was also doing certain things, bull rushing, which I enjoyed that. But Yaya, I told people Yaya did not have a bad game as well. Yaya was killing. It's just that they had to they doubled him. I don't know if people realized that they were doubling Yaya so he wouldn't go off. It was.
I thought they were quite smart in the sense of like when you run a 3-4 defense, you do need to have a dominant nose tackle. So they could have gone down the route of just putting Greg Gaines there, who can probably do a job at nose tackle, which means they can add those disguises in. But if I remember correctly, I did have a few drinks at the time. I was enjoying some beverages. I do believe that they went to a 4-man front quite often, which makes more sense if you know if you're out of a really big physical presence, such as a nose tackle in Vita Vea. You can get away with having a smaller, maybe two free techs rather than having a pure thoroughbred nose. Mm-hmm. And I think the Buccaneers did the job. They didn't need to blitz. They trusted their coverage, and their coverage held. We didn't get any sacks this game, and people were panicking about the pass rush. Okay, fair enough. But when your secondary is doing that with a lack of pass rush, and I would say the pass rush was still there, people just want to see the sacks, right?
Right.
But I tell you, when you get pressure in your face and it makes you think about, especially on third downs, which is the most critical down in football, I don't want to take a sack. I'll just throw it now. I'll just throw it. And you're throwing them incomplete, or you're throwing wayward passes. You're getting picked off. You're seeing ghosts out there. Mm-hmm. We know the Bowls like to bring up an exotic blitz package. Now, I will want to talk about this because I talked about this on the post-game show. I wasn't a fan of Bowles' time and management deep in the fourth quarter, where he burned timeouts rather than letting them use theirs, because they need to score a touchdown. They couldn't settle for a field goal, and we're taking timeouts. And it's like, and the announcer saying, "Oh yeah, it's to save time." And I'm like, but you're in the mindset of you're expecting them to score. You should be in the mindset is, I'm going to make you use your timeout, because that time dwindling down. And this is just philosophy more than anything. My philosophy would be, we're going to play timeout chicken. you don't need if you score, you don't need the timeouts. I need them, because if you score, I've got timeouts to use. So even if you whittle it down a little bit, I've still got timeouts to use. In the end, we had like a minute left on the clock, and they still had a timeout because, again, for some bizarre reason, Cohen decided that we're going to throw the ball on third down rather than maybe just run a stretch play or something, or a toss play or something, a little bit more of a longer developing run play that you could kind of get away with that, or how just have a quarterback keeper and he just loops around and just runs to the sideline, skids just before the sideline, and you'll buy a couple more seconds, and then they've got no timeouts left. You make them use their timeouts. As the only criticism I have of Bowles is I felt that he was burning through timeouts when we should really be making them use theirs, because it's them who needs to score, not us. Mm-hmm. That was my philosophy. I was like, why are we giving them breathers Why are we giving them a minute to collect themselves? They should be looking to do that with their own timeouts.
Yes.
And it didn't matter in the end, but
yes.
The problem was we didn't get to ice the game. We had to stop them again.
Yes. I think by that point, though, I think Bo's confidence was just there. And Dan, I think he could smell the desperation off of Dan. Like you said, Dan is a ballsy kind of coach, but it can work against him. Like you were going back to that fake punt. Him being undisciplined was their downfall in the first half because they couldn't get on. He made them get on the field, but they mismanaged their time possession. I think you are right on that. In the second half, on their drive down there, they didn't do a good job. But as you said, it was because Goff was off today. We got to be real.
That is the story. Goff was off. No touchdowns, 2 INTs, and I like the kid. I'm a big fan of Goff. I really wanted him to do well because not to do well in Detroit is because he wasn't a bad quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. If someone turned around to me in 2000 after Brady left and said you can have Jared Goff, I'd be like, cool, I can work with that. That's a quarterback I can work with. I'm not saying over Baker because we didn't know what Baker looked like back then. But let's say if Jared Goff was available for a trade for a 3rd round pick, I would have bit someone's hand off for it. I'd have gone, yeah, okay, I'll take it. Because he's a very good quarterback. He's taken a team to a Super Bowl. He is talented. But we got our guy, we got Baker, and I think he fits the Buccaneers just fine the way he is.
Yes, he does. And before we get to Baker, but back to that defense, I want to just really reemphasize of why Bowles was just, you could see the confidence in Bowles and the players. The Detroit's offense was getting, as you said, demoralized and frustrated, especially Amon St. Brown. But that's why I when people were trying to say, oh, Amon is just as good as Evans, I say, slow your roll. First of all, he ain't been in there long enough. Put some respect on that. But second, high volume doesn't make you the best. And that's a high risk and high reward. He couldn't even finish the game. If you look at Amon St. Brown's face when he was walking off, he was pissed. But again, that fits into Bowles' mode. He didn't get a lot of yak. He was getting beat up. And I told people that Amon cannot continue to get all these yards because when you are a high volume receiver, it takes a toll on you. You don't believe me?
Because you get hit every time. It's not like you just fucking, especially if you're what I would call, he's like a Chris Godwin mold where it's more, he plays a lot of the intermediate routes. He plays a lot of breaking routes, which means he usually catches while he's on the run, which means someone usually twats him, to turn a phrase in English. Whereas Mike Evans is a high volume wide receiver, but most of his catches are in the air. So he just falls to the ground. He doesn't really get really hard contact. That's one of the reasons why Air Evans has been going for so long, is because he isn't constantly route running, holding onto a ball while someone smashes into him. 9 times out of 10, he catches the ball and someone's already on top of him. Like, as in, they're not firing into him. They're already trying to get the ball themselves. So the moment he hits the deck, because their bodies are touching each other, he's considered down by contact anyway. So Mike Evans has been able to save a lot of his career just by not holding on to running around with the ball in his hands, because that, being a ball carrier, takes a physical toll on you. This is why running backs' lives are very short in the NFL, because they get beat the fuck out of, and you go from looking like King Henry to looking like Chris Ivory in his last year.
That's right. And again, that's why St. Brown getting in a way, those kind of yards he got were empty calories because they're force feeding him, and he still could not get into the end zone. So that's why I was telling people that shit isn't going to hold up. And if you don't believe me, Exhibit A, Cooper Kupp, Exhibit A, Puka. When you take a lot of those beatings, as Slick has been telling everybody, and I've said it too.
You know, me and you've spoken about Cooper Kupp. So, and again, I'm not against Cooper Kupp. I think he's a great wide receiver. But when they were smoking that, when they were drinking the Kool-Aid, the Cooper Kupp Kool-Aid, and they were like, "Oh my God, he's like one of the best wide receivers in football." And now you look at him; he's only got 2,000-yard seasons in his career and 2 double-digit touchdown seasons. I don't know what people. Well, he got injured. Well, remember what everyone says: the best ability is availability. And I'm going to tell you one thing: Chris Godwin will probably overshadow him in time.
Oh,
We've
absolutely.
got
If not
more
already.
1,000-yard wide receiving seasons.
Yep.
Do you know what? I'd be interested to see what the stats are because I think they were drafted same year.
Yes, they were. They were drafted the same year. I think Godwin was a fourth rounder. I think Cup was a fourth rounder. But also, um, is Chris Godwin is the best number 2 wide receiver in the league. And I told people why, because he's clutch. Did you see Devontae Smith slick against the Falcons? Uh, if he's not on a long route, it's over for him. And the way that the Eagles need AJ Brown is pathetic. But Godwin shows up when it matters. Evans, as we just talked about, you know why we love Evans so much? Because he doesn't have to be the hero all the time. He said, they're going to double me. Godwin, handle it. And what happened? Godwin handled it, and he was shitting on Carlton Davis all half the game. Anytime Davis was on him, Godwin just went right through him. Evans, like you said, he knows how to sustain his health. Amon St. Brown is going to have to learn that. Otherwise, in my opinion, Slick, he's
I
going to
think
be
it's just the position he plays. He plays that. He plays a lot of the slot. He's very Chris Godwin-esque, and that would just get you hurt because you're a ball carrier quite often. It's the same. It's the same with Cooper Kupp. They're guys who play well in the slot.
Yep.
Julian Edelman. He didn't play most of the time. He didn't play all the regular season. He just got healthy for the playoffs and did his thing in the playoffs.
Yep. So was Amendola. So was It's and Chris Wes Welker. Yes, it has drawbacks, and that's why I want people to understand in football, it's high volume doesn't always make you great. It's when you make the right catches at the right time. Evans always comes down with the catches at the right moment. And I like that you talk about Godwin and Amon. Amon is smaller than Godwin, believe it or not. I tell people Amon St. Brown is his frame is not as like Chris Godwin has like a perfect lanky but stock like he's 6 foot even. I think I'm saying Brown is like 5'10, but I kept telling people Bowles knew what he was doing. He said, we're going to allow St. Brown to have those short yardages and get all those empty calories. But when it came to that end zone, he couldn't get there. And Williamson, he disappeared, like you said, when Dean locked in on him. That's all we were trying. I was trying to explain to certain Bucs fans in the community because it was divided at first. Like I told you, there was some controversy within our Bucs ranks because people were just so hell bent on the Bucs losing. Well, I just think that the Bucs don't have too much, and you're only saying that because you're a Bucs fan. No, me and Slick have told you.
I've heard Bucs fans talk about how we weren't going to have a good season, and I've heard Bucs fans say how we weren't going to win the game. And I think you've got to be a shitty fan. You've always got a chance in football, right?
That's right.
You shoot for the stars because you may as well end up in that space.
Exactly. And I love this because this is why we do what we do, Slick, because look at this. Woo! No one gave the Bucs a chance. No one. And I like
except
this.
Jerry McCoy. We give shout out to Jerry McCoy.
Yes. And you know what makes this picture even sexier? Look at all the points. Every damn person has them scoring at least 30. Ooh, they are so far apart. They couldn't even get to 20. And mind you, the Bucs did this with reserves, folks. Oh gosh, Slick, can you imagine if Canty and Winfield play and Gedeke? Bucs are putting up at least 30.
Go Bucs, go Bucs. Sorry to interrupt. Go Bucs.
Damn, Rick, that you
Gotta
sound
go.
like Bulls.
I gotta go.
See you, Rick.
See you, Rick. Rick has graced us with our presence, guys. But yes, what's up? But yes, that's all I was trying to explain to people, Slick, that I don't give a damn about the Detroit Lions. Do I respect them? Yes, but are they this super juggernaut team? No, the Bucs.
No, because a juggernaut team usually has 2-star wide receivers, and I don't think their other wide receivers are star. I don't. Not at the level what we're talking. When you talk of juggernaut team, running backs, no, I don't think they don't have a all-star running back. Their line is stellar. No one can argue their offensive line is stellar. The quarterback is an above average, I'd say a high end quarterback, but he's not elite.
Right.
He's in that top 15 to 10, between top 15 and 10, somewhere in there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we were just trying to explain. And this Bucks team was just, this is a different unit. And I kept telling everybody, well, because other people were saying, well, Detroit's, don't forget their secondary. I'm like, look, like I said on the show before, I said, bruh, they are the pregame. I said, what did I have to say, Slick? They're not the Legion of fucking Boom. They're a good defense, but the strength of their defense is because when they get
That
rest,
line.
they're
It's
line
that
two
line.
and their line. And when we kept them out there, we used their own tactic against them. When the Bucs was able to sustain drives, you could clearly see that their secondary was so hell bent on, okay, let's double Mike Evans. They forgot about Godwin in the first half. Then here's the thing. We have too many receivers. The first shot of the game when Baker threw that shit to Palmer, I think that really made Detroit's secondary go, you know what? We have to make sure we cover the deep passes because if they get passes, we're through. And that got in their head psychologically. If you think about it, they were mostly protecting the deep threats. That means Mike Evans. They made sure if Palmer was out on the field, cover the back end. That's why Godwin was eating throughout the intermediate routes.
And you also had a gentleman called Baker Mayfield who used his legs the most intelligent way possible. He didn't go looking for contact. I mean, he did get contacted a few times, but he slid most of the time as soon as he got clear of the downs where he got what he could get out of it.
Yes.
Really smart play. His Houdini-esque skill set that allows him to duck, weave. He's like the ultimate dodgeball player. Duck, weave, duck, dip, dodge.
Yep.
His way through traffic and then just gain a couple of yards. Or even if he does get to the original line of scrimmage, then you feel like, okay, we haven't lost anything. Or you sometimes gain stuff here and there. And it's awesome. But I just wanted to hit on something that Bucs Raised Bolts put in about getting nothing at halftime. Now, a couple of fans on my post-game show said that was the reason they lost. And I said, no, it's not.
No.
It's absolutely not the reason they lost. Because that is a weak person's mentality to say, oh, we lost the game because we didn't kick that field goal at the end of the half. Okay, let's say you kick that field goal and you get the points. The way you play cool from then on out is different. You're playing a completely different game at that point because you're not in the same situation. And that's the issue that I have with them with people saying saying things like, when they say, oh, well, we missed a field goal. If we would have got that field goal, we won a game. It's like, well, when was that field goal? Oh, well, we would have scored it in the second half. Oh, fucking hell, dude. There's so much football that happens in between there. You're going to pin it on that one referee decision or that one missed kick. There's way more to football. You've got an entire fucking half to play, and you're telling me the reason you lost is because you didn't kick a field goal? That's the reason you lost? What about the amount of drives that you didn't come away with points in? They're the reasons you lost the game because you can go and score you're allowed to score, the last I checked in the National Football League, but there's a defense out there who's going to try and stop you. Mm-hmm. But you have got the opportunity. Why did you fail? You were unable to beat the Buccaneers defense to get in scoring positions to win the game. That's why you lost, not because of missed field goal.
Damn right. We got somebody else, a special guest that is going to clarify why. And this guy is one of the best Bucs hype men. They need to start paying him for that because he gets me hyped as well with the morning and got one of the coolest New York Northern accents. Let's bring on poor Richie Lou. What's up, poor Richie?
What's up? What's up, AJ? Coach, what's going on, guys? How you guys been, man?
Oh,
we're good, man.
We're good. I just want you to see this, Port. Now, what do you have to say for this? Woo!
Bro, it's called school in session, bro. That's what that's all about, man. And if we got to teach every national pundit or writer that there is a team here in Tampa Bay, then so be it. Now, they might not want to pay attention to us, but they're going to have to, bro. Because the talent that we have on this squad right here, dude, it's going to, it mandates attention, man. I mean, we got this Bronco game coming up on Sunday, right? And it can be a trap game, but I think these guys, they've learned from last year, man. We went 3-1, and then we went 4-7 after that. You know, that's a lesson that those guys learn, and I'm sure they're going to be, you know, checking up on the rookies, man, and making sure that shit doesn't happen anymore. You know, and so I mean, we should demolish the ponies, man. These fucking guys, man. It shouldn't even be a fucking question, you know. And so what I'm saying is, look, we got to go in there. We got to stomp some ass, and we got to fucking get after it, man. And there's going to be no question, man. The only thing concerns me is they like blitzing, and if we got School in there instead of Gedeke, we might have an issue there. We might have an issue on, you know, on our old line, man. You know, I don't want to see some no-name asshole fucking get 5 fucking sacks on us, man. You know, I mean, I think we're gonna be fine, bro. But you get the gist of what the fuck I'm trying to say here, brother. So I'm just I just want to make sure that these guys have my full attention, and make sure, you know, that we're going to come out, man, blazing, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to fucking fire some cannons. I want so much fucking cannon fire that we run out of fucking cannonballs. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. You know? I mean, for me, this is going to be a fucking princess pony fucking ride, bro. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. We're going to have Jason Light at the fucking end of the fucking game handing out candy bags, you know? And they're going to have come with the fucking clown, that cocaine fucking bounty motherfucking Peyton. Fuck that motherfucker, because we owe him one in the ass for all that fucking shit that he gave us when he was with the Saints. Fuck that motherfucker. We got something special for that bastard. I hope Yaya goes off, man. He was so close on Sunday, bro. So close. But this guy, Nix, we got to keep him contained, man. So I think Servassier, man, is going to be our man. You know, I know KJ, they said that KJ is going to start. But, bro, Dennis, man, that guy, Voss, man, was just fucking going off, man. And I just, bro, I'm looking forward to that guy just getting more reps. I think he takes the starting job eventually, man, from Brett, man. I mean, I love Brett, man. I love his tenacity. I love what he brings. But this guy's got the fucking skill and talent, man, you know? I mean, what do you guys think?
Oh, 100%. He's a missile. I think Bowles is doing it the right way. He wants Savase to keep earning and to keep his body fresh, because remember, he was an injury bug. He didn't play throughout the entire preseason. So get him steady and keep him hungry and humble. Slick says it best, and you just said it. He wants his guys to understand we ain't done shit yet. That's why I love Bowles. His post-game comment. He said, enjoy this today, but we got Denver next week. And this is a good omen, because what happened to Denver last week, week 3, when they played a Florida team?
Bro.
70 points. I don't know. And the Bucs got the offensive firepower to do so. So I'm just saying, I tell you this, my girl will have to get my ass, drive me home if the Bucs put up 70 burger, because I think I will be passed out, fucked up, drunk with a cigar in my hand. I'm gonna be blowing up, lose me in the DMs. What's good, Slick? I'm like, oh shit, 70 points. I'm going to stalk Cam Jordan's page just to fuck with him, and then I'm gonna DM Peyton and say, I got a bounty on you now, fucker. That's just what I'm saying. Don't let the Bucs get 7 points.
I think we'll all be a fucking problem, man, if we put a 70 burger on these.
Don't get me started.
I'll try to be humble, bro.
Me too.
I'll try.
70 points.
You try. Hey, we always try. We don't always succeed. You know what I'm saying? But we try. There's effort put in. But with the Sebastian Dennis and the KJ Britt thing, I think they're just 2 different types of linebackers. One's that natural thumper that you want in obvious running downs, and then when it's going to come down to like your passing plays, this is how they use Sebastian Dennis, and he can play the run too, but he's just not. I don't think he's that natural thumper kind of guy. I think he's more in the mold of a Levante David than KJ Britt's that thicker, go just smash like train wreck through and go and make the tackle. Whereas Levante David, it's all about his angles. He goes downhill, but he comes downhill at an angle that's unstoppable. Whereas the Thumpers, like, I'm going to get in your face and just push through and get what I want. So I think the best thing for those two is to play them off. I think they played them amazingly well in the last game. They just found this balance with those two, putting them in at the right situation at the right time. And sometimes when it wasn't the right time, and they did run the ball, Savassi Dennis still stepped up and did his thing.
Bro, I think that's it, man. Just pick your spots. Pick your spots and get the guys in there where, they'll know what to do, man. Coach is so smart. I honestly think that Lion game was like one of the best coaching I've seen it out of that guy, man. I mean, really, really. I mean, anything short of that. He wasn't the head coach, but the Super Bowl, man, where KC fucking didn't do shit for him, But bro, I think that's going to be something that we can build on, something that moving forward, man. Because, dude, we're contenders, man. We're fucking contenders, man. We just
when we get to the playoffs,
bro. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. There's no team on the schedule right now that fucking scares me, man.
Thank you, Port. I told people, and look, Slick and I both said this before the fucking season started. We said this. Look at this like this, Port. Lou, hear me out. Everything that the media said about all the teams that are supposed to be the dominant figures are not dog shit, but they're not what they said. The Eagles, meh. Falcons, meh. Bengals, meh. Ravens, all these teams that they said were supposed to be legit, and me and Slick said, hold on, that's media bullshit, are not it. Slick and I said this, Lou. We said if the Bucs and Detroit was a 50-50 game, people said, no, that's automatic loss. We said, bullshit. Now you got the Broncos. That should be a stomping session, 70 points in the Lord's name. But we play the Eagles. I'm not scared of no damn Eagles. Then you play the Falcons. I'm not scared of no Falcons. The Saints, I'm really not scared of. I told people, somebody said, well, how do you stop them? Stop the run, put 2 safeties over Rashid Shaheed. Problem fucking solved. That's game. Well, what about the offense? The Bucs can literally do whatever the fuck they want. This game that's coming up with the Broncos, if you want to establish a run and get your confidence up, this is the game to do so. Lou, Broncos are a depleted team. First of all, they just lost their best tackle. Their defense is not good. If I'm the Bucs, you want to establish a run, let's get it going. And now light a fire under Rashad's white ass because Bucky is coming into town. I honestly think this is the game where you want to establish a run to get your offense going. That's just me though. So yeah, this schedule. Look, do we dare say the Bucs and win 13 or 14 games? Hey, Slick, my theory of the Bucs winning the fucking.
Can you imagine? I tell you what, that's a great receipt to have because look, I'll always say to you that I love being proven wrong, especially in the good ways, especially when my team proves me wrong. When I said, I think we're going to go. My goal, I said 11 wins, 11 to 12. You said we'd have the season wrapped up, but we'd have the playoff spot, the division wrapped up by week 13, which seemed insane at the time. And obviously, it's still week 2, but and there's a lot of football to be played. But this Broncos game is the kind of game we need because we've got guys who are a little bit beat up that might not play. We've got guys stepping up. And what do guys do step up? They step up. But it's easier to step up against a team that isn't firing on all cylinders. Going up against, say, the Lions was a tough match because of who they were and what they represent. Going against some of the other teams that we may face later on, it will still be that challenging matchup. But the Broncos aren't. This is an opportunity for somebody who isn't normally in the starting lineup to make a name for themselves. Have that game where you come away with 2 picks. Have that game where you get 2 sacks. Have that game where you get the forced fumble return for a touchdown. That's what this game is for. This is the one. If I was a guy who's been, we're stepping up a starter this week. I'm circling. This is the game. This is my game because this is where I get to show it. Because I might, if I get the opportunity against a team with a very good offensive line and I'm a defensive lineman, I might not get that opportunity. But I'll probably get it with this Broncos team. You see where I'm going with this?
I see.
This is one of those games that if you had beat up players, I'm not saying this is a buy. I would never, ever say something like that because it's too disrespectful. But this is the kind of game where you could get away with beat up players either beat up players playing or letting those guys who are the backups who want to prove themselves, this is the game you prove yourself.
Amen.
Absolutely, bro. Bro, what I'm saying, bro, is what coach is saying, and what I'm hearing out of coach. Coach is saying, bring in the fucking JV. He don't give a fuck. Play the fucking guys that that usually doesn't want to play, bro. But I hear what AJ also said, man. Establish the run, and this is the game to do it right here, bro. Especially, with their own line, depleted and stuff. Dude, I think we can get our old line, open up some highways for these guys. Bucky the Buck, Rashad, they should have a hell of a game, man. And, they might have to implement the fucking mercy rule after this fucking game, bro. Because we might fucking go off, man. We might fucking go off, bro. So I think we're going to put up some crazy numbers, man. And I think even our defense, this guy's a rookie, man. Bo's going to have all kinds of shit in store for this cat, man.
If I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm saying we're pitching to get a donut. That's the goal.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
And this isn't Jaden Daniels.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would say that to my boys every fucking game. But this is a game that I circle on. I say, if you want a donut, this is the one. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's going to require work. It's going to require effort. It's going to require your fucking best. But it's possible. And you know how hard it is to get donuts in the National Football League? It is hard, man. Extremely tough to opponent. But that's the kind of stuff that just sets a locker room on fire. And if the offense can do the opposite side, I'm not saying donuts and burgers, that would be a bit too insane, but not impossible. Not impossible.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. If I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm saying, guys, defensive room's talking about a fucking donut. We want ours too. Let's go and get some fucking burgers. Let's put the work in. Let's work as hard as we can because we have an opportunity here. This team is ready to be fucking knocked out. Let's knock them out, but let's do it fucking clinically. Okay? They'll fight back. They're fucking grown-ass men. They're in the National fucking Football League. They'll fight back.
Yep. But
if you hurt them early, they may just cave. And that's how you got to do it. Complementary football, holding a team out. Imagine getting to the second quarter, at the end of the second quarter, and it's even if it's only 16 points to nothing. Now they are like, we got no shot. 20. Let's go 21-0. You got no shot, which means there'll be players starting to dip. This is where, if I'm the coach of the other team, I'm going, maybe I'll put some backups in, to get them experience, and maybe put a guy who wants to fucking play.
Bro, I'm totally with you, bro. This is the game where we fucking snatch souls. We fucking demoralize these motherfuckers. We fucking take it all out of them, where these motherfuckers don't even want to come back on the field, bro. You know what I'm saying? We'll fucking do that donut deal, man. We'll have this game sponsored by fucking Dunkin', man. I don't give a fuck, bro. We'll fucking do this shit, man. We'll do this, man. Absolutely, this is the fucking game, man.
And do that
we'll
shit
fucking
at
call
home.
it the donut game, bro. You know what I'm saying? We'll come back here on Wednesday and we'll talk about that fucking Dunkin' game, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if it's fucking 63 to fucking nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ass stomping, bro. Ass stomping, man. You know what I'm saying? Glue factory shit, man. We'll send those motherfuckers to Elmer's and Alpo, motherfuckers.
And Lou, look at it like this. We finally have a coordinator that Bowles is ready to unleash. That's what makes this perfect. We have the squad now where Bowles will say, okay, Cohen, do your thing. I'm going to do mine. Slick, I think Slick is on to something. Bowles is probably saying, you better shut this fucking team out. Their best tackle is gone. So what Hutchinson did to us, I want Yaya. He's probably Yaya. You do the same. JTS, you want a contract? Continue to play strong. Britt, Zion, guys, we got to give Zion his flowers. I owe Bowles an apology. Myself, I can say I thought
I said I was not convinced that he was the guy because I was like, I've not seen anything. But you always forget corners can take time to develop. Corners don't always pop off the screen straight from college. It's probably the one position other than quarterback that takes the most. And I think it's because it's so mentally resistant. You have to be so mentally resilient, especially in the National Football League these days with how plays are. You've literally got to forget that you've just given up a fucking 50-yard bomb. You've got to forget that shit because you can't dwell on that. It does no one any fucking favors of you going, oh no, 50-yard bomb. But bro, we're still in the game. We ain't got no time for no fucking. We'll worry about the 50-yard bomb. I'm don't get me wrong, we're all pissed about it, but fucking, you got to show the mental toughness. It's the same with the quarterback position. People have disagreed with me until the end of time. Cornerback is probably the hardest mental position to play in all of football, other than on defensive football. Quarterback's harder because it comes with a lot more pressure. But if someone's running the football and they break out, no one's worried about the fucking the contain. No one's worried about the fucking force player that didn't do his job. It's because it's the cornerback who didn't make the tackle when he was one-on-one with him.
Yeah,
and
100%. I want to ask you this: the play of the game, and everybody goes in order. Play of the game in Detroit, Lou. What's the play of the game for you that just made you go, that's what I'm fucking talking about?
Dude, the quarterback fucking run, man, where he fucking had Rodriguez on fucking on skates, man. And he just fucking, yeah, bro, that game, dude, that right there, that just like took it out of him, man. You know, those poor fans at fucking Ford Pinto Field, man, those poor bastards, they didn't know what to do with fucking Bake, man. They didn't know what to do with them, bro.
I love it. I love it. Slick?
I was leaning toward Chris Godwin, but I have to go. It's got to be Baker because Baker just put the team on his back when he needed to. Chris Godwin, we have to remember, Chris Godwin was sharp early. It fizzled out. He wasn't as efficient in the second half. Baker then put the team on his back and took whatever was given. So he was going to everyone, or he was just running the ball up the middle and taking what he got. And then for him to get the touchdown, that was just like the cherry on top. And I think, he's originally for me, it was Chris Godwin. But when I really evaluate what happened in the second half, that second half was all Baker Mayfield pushing his team to a victory. I'm not talking about the defense. I'm talking from an offensive standpoint. On defense, it was the defense. The defense with the defense with the MVP in themselves. There was not one single person that outlit anybody else. They all balled the fuck out.
Yes, you're right, guys. It's Baker, but it's poetic, to be honest, because remember, Baker was the reason our season ended last time in Detroit when he threw that pick. I don't give a shit what nobody says. Baker took this fucking game personal. He said, fuck those guys. The Bucs took that, like, you know what, these guys, and they've been talking shit. Okay, bet. You said it, that run, but the genius behind it. Did you guys see that? How despite school getting schooled, he waited for the opening to take off. Genius. He didn't panic, and he moved out. And then that, like you said, that juke was there. But he's a smart guy as well, not just gritty. That man has both combinations. So that is why I just wanted to bring this up to you guys. This is why this is the greatest fucking power ranking so far that I've seen, because it's actually accurate for once. Look at this. This is real. This is how it's supposed to be. That is real. Now,
I'm sorry, I don't know how the Chiefs are there though.
Well, the Chiefs are there.
They are a referee decision away from being fucking 0-2.
I feel you, but
I say that with like comedy in my heart because they're clearly obviously a good team. You know, no one's discounting that.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
But isn't that accurate though? I think this is accurate because people said the Bucs were too high. I'm like, damn that. We just beat a team that y'all been salivating and polishing their gooch that they were gonna be fucking Super Bowl contenders. So by your logic, we just beat that team. People said the Saints should be up here. First of all, the Aints still ain't shit. They haven't played anybody. The Bucs have played two harder teams, and I stand on that. Guys, if someone had to ask you, Panthers and Cowboys, but Washington and Detroit, which one was harder? Don't nobody give a fuck about no Cowboys. The Cowboys are mid anyway. It's just the fact that the media keeps talking about them. They're mid.
I think their win against the Cowboys is great. I think it's really good for them, and they do. I wouldn't say scare me, but I'm just so surprised that all the media hype was about how Atlanta was going to win it all, when realistically it's going to go back to what it's always been: Buccaneers versus the Saints.
Yes,
try and get the top spot, and it ain't changed again. Now, that might change down the line because we don't know. We're still week 2, but the media was like, "Yeah, it's fucking, it's all Atlanta." Right now, it's all Bucs and Saints because we've both got the same record. It's going to come down to that. What's going to happen? And I think it's going to be great for the game. I think I completely agree with you, AJ. They are a team that you shut down AK. You shut down AK. It's over. Like there is nothing else about them. My wife has him on fantasy team. She is loving life right now because he's popping up fucking 40 to 60 points a fucking day. So you shut that down. What are you gonna get? It ain't fucking Derek Carr leading them to victory. It's AK pushing them to it.
Boom. And Lou,
wag his corpse with them.
Exactly. So Lou, what is your take? And we'll let you rock after this. What is your take when it comes to the Bucs and Saints? If you had to say who is the legit threat, let's be real. Go ahead.
Bro, like you said, man, the Cowboys ain't got shit, bro. They don't have a running game. They don't have a true running fucking back over there, man. They got a bunch of washed up dudes over there. Dak is Dak, bro. He ain't nothing, bro. He ain't nothing. And they fucking played the fucking Carolina fucking Panthers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are on the schedule. That's a fucking easy dub. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you remember we used to be that team, bro. People used to come here to get right. You know what I'm saying? So I know, bro. I know, man. You know what I'm saying? So like this fucking game on Sunday, man, the fucking Denver Ponies, bro, when they show up, man, it's time for us to get right, man. Offensively, defensively, and like Coach said, man, I don't give a fuck if you got to bring up the whole practice squad and put them in there, man. It's going to be on, bitches. It's going to be on. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, and the beauty is going to be watching Peyton on the sidelines, bro, losing his fucking mind, bro. Losing his fucking mind because he won't know what to do with us, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a legit play caller, bro, in Cohen, man. A legit play caller, bro. And dude, this guy on Sunday is going to be able to open up the fucking playbook and just go off. Just go off, bro. You're going to see dudes out there that you don't even know, bro. They're catching the balls, man, for fucking 50 yards, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. You know, after the fucking, I think by halftime, man, we got Trask in there, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Look, I ain't gonna front. I'm a Gator at heart, so I can't.
No, nothing wrong with Trask. Nothing wrong with Trask. All this trade talk, man. We can't trade the fucking Trask to fucking the Panthers, bro. Dude, no.
It's gotta be. If you're gonna trade him, it's gotta be something so good that you can't turn it down.
Yeah,
and it ain't gonna be for someone like Trask. No one's, and they ain't got much to offer because they traded already.
No.
Why would you trade the one guy that I imagine that they feel comfortable with to win a game or two if Baker took a full stretch game out, right? Yeah. Why would you do that? That's not a team who's trying to win a championship doesn't do that. A team who knows they've got no shot to win, but they have some value on the bench, does that.
Yeah.
They go, well, we ain't going to probably win it. We're probably not going to win our division, but we'll trade our backup because our backup's a high-end backup, and there's a needy team out there. We're not that needy. We don't. The offer's going to be like a fifth rounder. It's not going to be like it's. I'm sure there's Buccaneer fans going, we could get a third rounder for it. You're not getting a third rounder. You're not getting a second rounder. You're not getting a fourth rounder. You're getting like a fifth or a sixth. And they're like, oh, yeah, but that's fine because we've got Baker. It's like, yeah, but things happen in a football game. He takes one turn, schooled, misses one thing, and
no doubt, bro.
Done. He could have a bad knee, and then all of a sudden you're putting who's the next guy up? Is it John Walton?
Yeah, and we don't need that shit. So, yeah, you're right. That's just dumb, and we're not trading them to a divisional rival. And we, first of all, that's cruel and unusual punishment. Don't nobody want to go to dusty ass Panthers right now. So, but anywho, Lou, you know, I understand the time is of the essence, but again, Lou, thank you again for just coming on the show as always, delivering that fucking energy and that we love it. And look, man, me and Slick, we're gonna be there in Tampa October 27th for the Falcons creamsicle game. I sure hope you can get down there. And
I'll try and come and look at what I got this up, man, and come and see you guys, man.
Together.
Bro, absolutely. We'll talk some shit, man. Maybe we'll do a little video right there on the spot, man, and we'll talk, you know, get the boys fucking hyped up. You know what I'm saying? We could do this. Man. We could do this. But, you know, in the meantime, bro, candy bags going to be handed out Sunday. A 70 fucking dog on them. And, you know, fucking bring the kids, man, for the fucking pony rides. Fuck these assholes, man. And Peyton gets one of these, bro. For the fucking horse he came in on, bro. Guys, man, be good, man. Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Take care of yourself, bro.
You too.
Sir. Yes, sir. I want to have Peyton Manning going like this. I want Elway to go. I even want Shannon to go, ooh. Look, we should. And yes, putting 70 is people might think it's far-fetched, but with this offensive weapons we have,
I don't think it'll happen. But I want us to be aggressive.
Yes,
like I said, as a offensive coordinator, I'm talking in my room about putting 50 on. In my defensive room, I'm talking about trying to get that goose egg, get that donut. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm talking about it. I know realistically it won't happen, but they'll fight for that.
That's the whole point. Fighting for it can make it happen more because, as you said, what if we get up and it's like 40 something, and what if, like you said, other backups come in and say, "Hey guys, this is my time to shine." Oh shit, I can actually make something happen. Bucky McMillan, you think McMillan don't want to get 2 touchdowns if he can? I got Evans going off on this game. Now people said, "Well, Surtain shut down Metcalf." Metcalf ain't fucking Evans. First of all, next. Metcalf is literally always the guy, the person that you want to be good, but he's just not. Now, I'm going to give you this term right here. Slick, you're going to laugh. I'll break it down. Metcalf is the Memphis Bleak of wide receivers. And what that means is Memphis Bleak is Jay-Z's friend, right? They grew up together, and he's an artist himself, but he's never really relevant. He's only known because of Jay. And he's always had one song that seems good, but he's always one hit away from being relevant. That is literally fucking DJ Metcalf. He's always talked about with potential, but at the end of the day, he doesn't come up. So don't ever compare Metcalf to Evans. Evans is going to dog certain, especially, Lord forbid, if they get in red zone moments. First of all, Broncos are going to have to double him. If they don't, that's just dumb. You have to double Evans. That's the beautiful thing of the NFL now, Slick. There isn't no number one corner right now that can officially shut down Evans just single-handedly. Not even Lattimore, for people out there who are going to say that bullshit. I like Surtain. He's a very good, very solid corner, but he's not going to just completely shut down Evans, especially in the red zone.
And you know what's going to happen even if he did? There's still Chris Godwin, there's McMillan, there's all these others. And just to reiterate off what Rick was saying, I don't care if they win by week 3. I will be. Oh, of course we will. I won't care either. I mean, we'll look at potential pitfalls of why we didn't score more.
Yeah.
But absolutely, a win's a fucking win. Like me and AJ will be sat here and going, well, we felt like we should have got more out of it, but we'll take the win because sometimes you have to win ugly. And if that's if it takes that to win with a couple of backups in, I will take that win.
Yeah, I just don't see it with this team. We just don't see it not with this team. So Rick, and I get it, but Rick, this is not gonna. Oh no, he said this is a traditional trap game. I disagree, Rick. This is why it's not traditional. Usually, trap games are teams that have potential and that are on the rise. Denver is depleted right now, and they just lost their best tackle. So put it this way: football logic, Slick. Yeah.
Sorry, I want to go through it as well. I don't have a problem with being considered a traditional trap game or what have. But the whole talk about moving on, like getting something for him, I'm not into. The reason is, like, you're saying that the season's done. You don't know that. That's Pandora's box. This is something you don't open. Backups have done things before. I'm not gonna. First of all, none of us are in the room to know how far away Trask is from Baker. None of us know his mindset of how he would handle it if he goes into that situation. I'm in a situation right now where the Buccaneers are succeeding. I don't see it in any logical standpoint where I could trade Trask. If you could trade Trask and bring somebody else in off the street that you think can do the same job, then fair enough. I don't think the Buccaneers feel that way because they have a guy in the room that lives and breathes everything Buccaneers. So when it comes to a play, he'll come and do his thing. If he sucks, he sucks. But you've got to have that ace in the hole. I say ace in the hole. You need to have a backup, and it has to be the best possible backup. You can't turn around and go, well, I just don't want to be that guy, that team that goes, well, our season's done, so if we lose Baker, we've lost. Our season's done, so we may as well just trade away what we've got, and it doesn't matter. I just don't like that mindset. It's just not who I am. You've got to go. If our backup's in, we have the talent around him to still be successful. We have the defense behind him to back him the fuck up, and that's what I'm about. I don't want to go, a fucking 6th-round pick is not going to get you nothing that means anything. There are fucking guys who walk in off the street who get those undrafted free agent contracts that outlast fucking, especially in a light era, because in the light era, free agent dudes seem to do really fucking well when they undrafted free agents.
Yep.
It's the fucking low-end picks that don't always pan out.
Facts. So, Slick is on, guys. Coach Slick knows best. Rick, I hear what you're saying. And look, Buck fans, we're not getting ahead of ourselves because I want to express that, Slick, because again, in the community, we had people that I had discussed it with, the way that they were talking about this Detroit game. I said, well, shit, it sounds like you want the Bucs to fucking lose. I don't want them to lose. The odds are not thank you, Rick. That's again, when you're all in like the Bucs are, you don't leave nothing to chance. You want to go all in and win the shit. There is no coming back. As Slick said, that's a loser mentality because you got to build for the future. The Bucs are in the now. They have the team. They have the second youngest team. You want to keep that nucleus there because another thing that he said, Trask knows the playbook better than more than likely someone coming off the street. That's not good.
It's like when people turn around and say the Dolphins should go and get somebody, they're probably going to use somebody on their bench. You can't, unless they are down to the last fucking guy and the next guy up doesn't do the job. That's when you look at a fucking Tannehill. You ain't going to bring fucking Tannehill played for the Dolphins so far fucking back. The playbook is a completely different fucking thing. Why would you're doing it for nostalgia? You're doing it because that's what used to happen, and it'd be cool if it happened. It's not going to happen. It's like people turn around, Tom Brady's going to come out of retirement and play for the Dolphins. He can't anyway because he owns part of the fucking Raiders. He can't. Exactly. He physically is unable to go into another team's building. But people fantasize over these things. Tom Brady's fucking done. And you get these people turning around going, oh, yeah, but he's been working out. He's been doing that. And he's been doing this. It's like, fucking hell, guys. Just because someone works out, it doesn't mean they're in football shape. Tom Brady's a cerebral assassin.
Yep.
He needs to understand your playbook. He's not going to just go ab liber win. It doesn't work that way. This is the fucking National Football League.
Right.
You can bring somebody off. I'll tell you a guy you could bring off the street to help you win a game if you're a poor a franchise full of fucking studs and have a solid run game and an O-line. You could bring in a Cam Newton because all he does is run with the fucking football and pay little passes. That's why, and I said this during the COVID season, when Tom Brady walked away, they started off with really good success. The reason was because you could rely on the feet of Cam Newton. Only to a point, because his body was catching up with him. As a playbook and putting it all in and throwing the ball and making it get to the right people with the lackluster team that they had, Cam wasn't going to ever get it done. He was sunk. And it's not because he's not talented. It's not because of this. There just wasn't no talent there for him. He's had dudes play with him. He's gone from having dudes and having guy from Foxborough High turn up and fucking play for him. Like Amendola is the greatest wide receiver in the postseason. But he's a fucking pumpkin. He's a pumpkin all fucking year long. He don't do anything. He's not that great.
Nope.
You take one of his. I don't think he's even had a fucking 1,000-yard season.
No, he
It
has
doesn't
not.
matter because he's done it all in the postseason. That's why people are going, well, he should be a Hall of Famer. I'm like, no.
No, not at all. It's just when you turn up at the right moments and you have the right cast because Amendola had to be
I get the argument. I completely get the argument. He plays in the biggest games. I get that. I totally get it. But your body of work also has to be the regular season too.
Oh, and also you have to be the main reason. Amendola is not the main reason. If Gronk wasn't on that fucking team and other people, and there's a difference. I tell people it's not always about that. It's about, like you said, your body of work and what you do. You only turn up in there because also you have a plethora of other talent as well. Amendola was with the fucking Rams and he was not the guy. There was a reason because he can't be that guy. But I want to get back to this rankings but I just like this shit because this is actual knowledge of the game. Because people said, how are the Bucs over the Niners? Niners right now, they got injury bugs. The Eagles, we already know this. Saints, they're there, but they ain't there yet. Are they a good team? Yeah, it's a yes and no. I told people, they said, well, is it impressive? I said, yes, it is, but it's no at the same time. The Bucs have done something impressive. And somebody said, well, Washington. I said, here's the thing. I get it. Washington the Bucs still were the favorite, but not overwhelming. I remember Slick motherfucker said, well, the Washington can potentially upset the Bucs. I said, are you fucking kidding me? Okay. This game, guys.
No, people are sleeping on us, and I think it's always the way. How many years have we been Bucs fans where we've been slept on, right? And I'll be honest, the only legit year since I've been a Bucs fan, and I haven't been a Bucs fan since forever, like yourself, for a long time since like yourself, because I didn't know the game. I didn't even get into the game until 2013. I've been a Bucs fan since 2013. The only time I would say the media has given us an actual shot was 2021.
I agree 100%.
We weren't winning it in the COVID year because everyone thought Brady was washed up until he proved them otherwise.
Yep.
2021 was the only time that they could go and do the thing.
Yes, because we were set by then, and people damn near. You're right. That's the only time that people said, "Man, the Bucs are going to be back-to-back."
Anytime after that, I mean, an argument could be made for 2022 because the talent was predominantly the same, but I don't remember that in much smoke. But it's not impossible. I'd say the best two seasons media love would have been 2021, 2022, and then 2020.
Yeah,
they're the only. After that, as soon as Bowles took over, it was done. It was pretty much done.
And that's
like
why
they were like they're going back into where they came from. It's almost like they had a hook, line, sinker to fucking Cam Jordan, who was there like, oh, the Bucs will be back to where they've been, which he said for 3 years in a row, and it's still not happened. Like the Bucs not been back to where.
And he still ain't.
The Bucs have been back to where they've been, winning.
winning, and he still hasn't done shit. So that's why I say, Cam, shut the fuck up, Cam Jordan, because you still, even now that the Saints win the past 2 games, you ain't been a part of that. But I always tell people this, because another thing, didn't they say the NFC South was going to be complete dog shit? Woo! Saints and Bucs are 2-0. Falcons are 1-1. Only team that's bad is the Panthers. But remember, guys, this is why it's best to check the Bucs report, the aftermath out. Not always ESPN. They just talk shit to talk shit. And even some of those guys that don't, I know you'll say, oh, well, the NFL players, they have to go by what the powers that be above them say for the most part. They can't always just talk regular football like we can. They're bound because ESPN and NFL are connected. So they can't necessarily say, well, everybody needs to stop kissing Mahomes' ass because that's their job and they're getting a big paycheck. Now, if I get a paycheck, I might have to go, well, Mahomes is, he's that guy. I'll roll my eyes when the camera's off, but still, the thing is,
I generally think Mahomes is still one of the high-end quarterbacks. He is still that.
He is. Oh, he is. But I'm just saying that when they say that he doesn't make mistakes, that's where I go, bullshit.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
But they don't do that. But
every fucker makes mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes, and that's all we're saying.
Disney Baker with that sidearm throw as well. So,
absolutely. And that's why I told people, don't sleep on the NFC South. I don't give a shit what everybody says, because look,
Baker Mayfield will be an MVP candidate.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
Baker Mayfield will be an MVP candidate if the Buccaneers continue to play the way that the ball that they're playing right now.
Yeah,
will be an MVP candidate.
I'll say this: if he gets the Bucs over, let's say he gets them 13 wins, MVP, 13 wins, and let's say he gets
over 4.5K.
Yeah, and 35 touchdowns. 35. If he gets the 35,
how many INTs are you going to go with this?
I'm going to go with 12. The reason why I'm going to say 12, because I do think eventually, he'll make those mistakes because he's going to get aggressive sometimes and take his shots. Or sometimes Baker does throw bad interceptions. I'm going to say between 11 or 12. But maybe because if the run game gets better, I'm going to say 9. Okay, if the Bucs
average, I think 9 is. You turn around and say, guy got 4,500 yards.
Yeah.
35 touchdowns and 9 INTs. Let's say, let's go 2 fumbles because it's going to happen. You get sacked, it pops up. That's a fucking insane season. You can't have a quarterback have that kind of yard markers and say that they haven't won that many games.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking 13 games. We're in that ballpark. Yeah, that's the kind of quarterback that goes in those. And a very good defense. I want our run game to pop, but I don't want it to be the only thing about us. And I like the fact that there's this balance. I've been happy with the offensive play calling. I've not actually sat here going, we should have done this, we should have done that. And 9 times out of 10, that's what I did last year. Don't get me wrong, there were games that we didn't as much. But this year, so far, 2 games, I've been quite happy with the play calling, generally. There's always going to be blunders. And I will say this. You will find and I say, me and you, I've said this to you many times, you will find a quarterback on any single play, press pause as he's got the ball in his hands, and you know it's a play that he throws an INT on because you watched it back and you pause it just before he throws it and go, that guy's open. 9 times out of 10, there's always somebody open. What people don't realize is, try doing it in a football setting. You're watching it from a fucking spider cam 20 meters back from his back.
Yep.
So you don't have the same field of view that he does.
Yep.
And you're not looking at what he's looking at. You don't know who the first read is in this play. You don't know who the second read is in this play, and you don't know who the dump off is. So he's going 1, 2, 3. Why didn't he throw to the guy over there? Because he was the fifth read. That's why. And then let's say it's a third down. That guy might not be that good. The guys he's looking at are the studs. And that's the stuff you've got to put together when you're looking at a quarterback. And this is why I take no salt in it. Unless it's directly in front of them.
Right.
And they are looking in that direction.
Right.
I generally don't want to hear that crap because I think it's just stupid.
No, it is stupid and slick. I think you're a defensive minded guy. There's things that quarterbacks see that you don't fucking see on TV. The coverage it might look like it's open, but that defender is anticipating that. Because I've
You look
seen
at it
plenty
from a
of times.
different angle. They're looking at it from like a slightly bird's eye view.
Right.
We're looking at it like straight up.
Yep.
There's this thing, the NFL brought out. They've got like an AI,
Yeah.
virtual reality where you wear the goggles and shit, and you can actually see around the field, and you play quarterback. I've never played it myself. I don't know how much it costs because I think you got to buy one of those like fucking machines and shit. But I could imagine that being quite fun, but at the same time quite difficult. You find at the base level of football, and you probably found this when you were a kid at school.
Yes.
You're in middle school, or you're in the age where people can start throwing footballs, and you'll have a guy who can throw a fucking ball. Like he's got an arm, right? And he thinks he's the fucking dude. And then he'll go, I'm going to try out for the varsity team. Cool. Let's go. Play for the JV team. You go and play running back, right? Someone else goes, one of your other buddies going to play DB. And he can't do shit. Do you know why? He's never had someone in his face. And he's never had to fucking read. He just throws the ball in the air because he can. Having a good arm doesn't mean you're a good quarterback. It's the other shit that makes you a good quarterback. This bit. This is the bit. This is the bit you have to develop. The arm, you can work on that. You can make it a bit better. Yeah, there are guys with fucking noodle arms that can still play, and they can go all the way to fucking college and win it all. They can go and win a national championship because they can use the players around them. But a guy who can only throw a bomb, can't do any of that, it's fucking next to useless.
100%, guys. Again, Slick is giving you a coach's perspective. It's not always about how you feel about the game. It's about what you know. When I went into the Detroit game, I went into both feelings and knowledge. Did I know that? Did I have a feeling Hutchinson was going to dog us? Yes, but not to that extent. But did I also say that the Bucs have so many receivers and weapons that it's going to overwhelm Detroit's DBs? I did. So that's what makes football so fucking fun, is that you can always find a loophole in something. And at the end of the day, we just want our team to be successful. And right now, this is a time to celebrate and be happy. Your Buccaneers are on the trajectory of greatness. Next week, we have a team where if we get 3-0, guys, this will be the first time since Bush's second term, 2005, that the Bucs were 3-0. That was Cadillac Williams ago. That's exciting to me. And they already said statistically, when you start off 2-0, you have a 79% chance of going to the playoffs. Buck fans, we're arriving. And on that note, I will roll out on this one. But as always, guys, we appreciate you watching Bucs Report the Aftermath on 102.9. Again, continue to catch me on my YouTube channel. It's about Buck and Time. And as always, go Bucs and Slick. Take care of yourself, big homie.
I'll catch you soon, brother. I'll see you maybe on the pregame. Love you, man. Okay, guys, that was the end of the show, and I appreciate all the comments. NFL Network does not have the Bucs in the top 10. That's fine. Look, I don't really care where we are in media things, because as games go, you'll either climb in your descent. You'll climb in your descent. It doesn't matter. If you've got people write off teams all the time because they're not popular, because they're not this, because they're not that. It doesn't matter. The Buccaneers right now are 2-0, and they're looking to go 3-0. That, to me, is all that matters. This Tampa team is primed and ready to go. All they need is a little bit of spark, a little bit of bang, and we'll get that win in. This is a game where the Buccaneers could route it. I will be happy if they win anyway. It doesn't matter if we win by 1 point or we win by 50. However, I feel that this game has the opportunity to become a rout if they should want it. And I'm aware that the Buccaneers could be, certain players especially, will be looking at this game as a opportunity to go kick some ass. And on that note, guys, I will see you for the post-game show. Potentially, I might jump in on the pre-game show. But until then, Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs!